All right, welcome to the presentation. My name is Anthony Speciale here with you from Speciale Analysis. We're going to walk through my 3-and-1 trading program today. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm going to show you how we can approach the market from 3 different methods built all into one simple program, which I believe will give you the opportunity to really see the market from a different light. Most publishers would sell you several products in order to cover this amount of information and data, but I don't believe in doing that. I've worked for some of those companies. I want to deliver you more value than they're able to for less money. That's the ultimate goal here. And as we walk through the event today, you're going to see exactly how I am able to do just that. So real quick, lawyers and attorneys make us put this up here. Simply says trading and investing involves risks. You should be aware of these risks. We recognize that market assets can both go up and down. We realize that we can make money in both directions. We also realize we can lose money in both directions. You can review this down lower in the sales page before you purchase. So this information is here for you. If you have any questions, please send me an email, info@specialeanalysis.com, and I will gladly cover it for you. So I've been in this business for a little while, worked with some really great folks over the years. You could see throughout training presentations and things of that nature, I've had some nice reviews left for me, some nice comments made, things of that nature. I want to share them with you. I'm not real big on talking about myself, but I've had some great success teaching some wonderful people. Those folks have had some great success, and I want to just take a moment and share it with each and every one of you who are here with us today. Now, this past year has been nothing short of a wild ride. Inflation, of course, has peaked to all-time highs. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies broadly have crashed significantly. Companies from all sectors are laying off their people. Tech sector, with the exception of some hospitality, some retail, things of that nature, everything else is getting plummeted. Trust me, the balance of it is coming to the rest of the market. And above all, retirees are seeing their nest eggs evaporate. Really, this market contraction has hurt quite a few people. Now, according to MarketWatch, our billionaire friends, some of the most wealthy people that walk the face of the earth, are in fact bleeding. Jeff Bezos has lost over $60 billion of his net worth. Our boy Elon Musk is not far behind. He's taking quite a whack to his net worth as well. And even the great Warren Buffett has shed billions of dollars of his net worth during this most recent market turn down. But while most traders and investors have lost their shirts in this bloodbath of a market, in just a short period of time, employing the services that I offer here at Speciale Analysis, we have been successful in helping regular, ordinary folks turn $5,000 into over 24,000 US dollars and counting, including wins and losses. Now, this is all verified, and if you so desire to look at the weekly confirmed trades, you can go to my TradingView account, Speciale Analysis, search for the published charts, and for yourself, you can look through each and every one of these trades, how they transpired, how they were recognized, how they were published, if you would like. But you can see we suffered 3 losses. The losses that we suffered were no greater than 5.5%, and we were able to reap quite a few nice returns, profits both long and short, and we're able to help folks turn a moderate amount of money into a whole lot of amount of money. And this is a reliable win rate in excess of 80%, all done by leveraging a trading strategy that is part of my Speciale Analysis Services 3-in-1 trading program. But first, before we dive into those details of the service, let me introduce myself, kind of share with you all how I went from a Main Street business owner, an auto mechanic, in fact, to a consistently lucrative trader and investor. My name is Anthony Speciale. For those of you who I have not had the pleasure of working with over the years, I invite you and your consideration to work with me in the future. I've been successfully trading and navigating the markets now for just over a decade, born and raised in northern New Jersey, to a blue collar family in the suburbs outside of New York City. I worked as an auto mechanic as I was learning to trade. So I graduated high school on a Wednesday. My pop was good enough to offer me a job on a Thursday. And I kind of went into the family business. I didn't know where I was going. You know, entertained the military, entertained a couple different walks of life, law enforcement, firefighting, things of that nature. Just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Had a passion for business, had a passion for the market. That's ultimately led me kind of where I am now. Bought every trading program out there, bought all the indicators, all the get rich quick schemes, and found a lot of them to be very disappointing. It wasn't really until I created these approaches to the market that had really allowed me to flourish. I recognize that markets go through phases. During certain times, it's going to be more financially beneficial to day trade. Sometimes it will be more financially beneficial to swing trade, and sometimes it will be more financially beneficial to position style trade. So I've created an entire program that offers you all three of those ways to approach the market. Now, I recognize that some of you are not going to use all three, but some of you will. So they're here for the taking. Some of you may come in and have interest in one area and find that the other one or two may be very interesting to you as well. Now, I am no stranger to this business. I have been around the block. I've worked for a couple of companies. I've developed a couple of products. I've ran a handful of services, all that were owned by companies not myself. And due to choices that those companies had made, unfortunately, I have ultimately had to step away from those companies, which brings me here and offers me the ability to serve you at a much less of a price point, simply because I don't have the payroll that those big companies have. I don't have 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 people to pay. I don't have 20, 30, 40, 50 families to feed. You get the pleasure of working directly with myself and my wife. My only goal at the end of each year is to be able to earn enough money to donate to charities that we are heavily involved in. We work with charities such as St. Jude's Children's Hospital, charities such as Homeless Solutions, Wounded Warrior Project, things of those natures. We're very big in supporting our veterans. We're very big in supporting families with childhood that are unfortunately burdened with childhood cancer, things of that nature. So those are the things that we like to do, my wife and I. And again, I've stepped away from these larger companies because they're focused on profits and I am focused on people. It's a very different thought process and a very different delivery process as well. So once I walk you through my proprietary 3-in-1 trading program today, I can almost guarantee that your confidence in your trading and investing will likely be higher than it's ever been before, simply because you're going to see a more broad stroke of ways to take advantage of the market rather than just one concentrated way and then be sold another concentrated way and then another and another and another. Ultimately, that's what financial publishing companies are designed to do. They're designed to keep you excited about buying their next product. But my approach to the market, all three of them that I share with you today, are all equally powerful in both bull and bear markets. Yep, like I said before, there are times to employ certain strategies. Certain strategies will be stronger, but these do work in bull markets, they do work in bear markets, which means we can play market assets both ways, long and short. We have the opportunity to make money if the market goes up, we have opportunities to make money if the market goes down. For example, Barron's and Seeking Alpha released devastating news about Tesla not too long ago. At the time, Tesla stock was experiencing a rapid decline where it crashed from $1,000 all the way down to 722 in just over a month, roughly. But a couple weeks later, on March 14th, Tesla stock entered into my 1% way to wealth profit window. So I sent out an alert to my members and students and told them it was time to buy Tesla at 914. Just 18 short days later, Tesla stock reaped us nearly a 26% gain on our trading position. Thanks to the precision of these profit windows, my members and I were able to rake in a quick 25% win, while the rest of the market, the S&P 500 index, was down 21%. Back in 2017, crude oil was experiencing its worst first half performance since 1998. Oil entered its profit window on September 5th, triggering an alert to buy at 48.66. And sure enough, I cashed out with an extremely rewarding 6 figures in profits just 3 short months later. Now, to put that in perspective, 2 members of a contributing household in the United States, on average, go to work both 40 hours a week for both roughly 50 weeks out of the year, and they roughly bring home about $84,000 a year collectively. That's the household income. The average household income for the United States is just a little over $80,000 a year. Imagine placing a trade on September 5th and realizing a 6-figure gain by the end of the year, roughly 3 months later, and you are one single person, simply done by leveraging the power of these profit windows. It certainly becomes life-changing very, very quickly. Back in the middle of the pandemic of 2020, investors and traders were literally cutting their losses as they had no idea what was coming next. Oil was being whipped around, up, down, sideways, in very, very violent movements. But while everyone else was being held at gunpoint by uncertainty, I received another 1% way to wealth profit window alert on February 26th, prompting me to sell oil at 48.73. And like clockwork, oil took an absolute bloodbath, reaping me a cash payout in less than 2 weeks of just over 158,000 US dollars in pure profits. I'm talking about huge money, nearly double the household income in the United States, the average household income, in just 2 weeks' time. I mean, this is absolutely positively life-changing. And in my humble opinion, this is what a genuine unfair advantage in the market looks like. I want to give you another example of just how versatile these profit windows are, even on instruments outside of stocks and commodities. While markets were gearing up for their recent fallout, Bitcoin had already started to tumble after hitting its recent high. On May 2nd, not long after the news came out, my profit windows identified a short play on Bitcoin at 31,295. Once my system alerted my members and I that Bitcoin's price had hit its profit window, we immediately jumped in and rode it all the way down to 24,214, banking over 26% in less than 1 month's time. Shortly after the Bitcoin trade, my profit window notified me of another lucrative play, but this time on Ethereum. I sent out an alert that Ethereum had hit its 1% way to wealth profit window at 2140. In just 1 month's time, Ethereum dropped over 1,000 points, which allowed my members and I to cash out with a huge 45% win on our position. Now, listen, pure transparency here. These are not a bunch of cherry picked trades that would have or could have or even should have happened. They're all real trades I sent to a small group of regular, everyday retail traders, all of which are able to be verified on my TradingView account. I encourage you to go look for yourself, page through all of these trades, and verify. Now, not too long ago, news broke out that Ford Motor Car Company was recalling an extensive amount of their trucks and SUVs. Instead of trying to predict how the news would affect the company's share price, I simply leaned on the mathematical power of my profit windows. Trusting my system's 80% plus accuracy, I immediately notified several hundred regular retail traders, just like all of us that are here today, of this lucrative trading opportunity that was up for grabs. I sent out an alert saying Ford entered its 1% way to wealth profit window at 1403, and sure enough, Ford took a nosedive, resulting in an easy to pick nearly 17% gain for us who traded it. So you guys have had an opportunity to see a little bit of what this 1% way to wealth profit window methodology looks like that I employ in my 3-in-1 trading program. That's the heartbeat of how my approaches to the market work. Now, of course, they're all modified slightly based upon the approach. We have, of course, our day trading approach, which is going to be a little different from our swing trading approach, which is going to be a little different than our wealth building approach. But the heart and soul of these three programs really lie within what I've just shared with you. But I want to have a little bit of a personal chat on some important topics that I think need to be talked about that are not normally covered in presentations like this. It's about personal accountability. It's about where your money goes to. Now, I have no desire for you to share with me this information. I certainly am not licensed to help you in any way other than to share with you the research that I have used to help myself and many others achieve wealth. But what ends up happening is most of us go to work. We either have jobs or businesses. Some of us have both. And the majority of our money gets consumed in the day-to-day, get consumed by our mortgage, our rent, our car payments, our cell phone bills, our dog walker, our rhetorical expenses, our subscriptions, our gym memberships, food, the things that we need to live each and every day. Now, without even realizing it, a good portion of our money ends up going to the government. That's what we call taxes. It goes through payroll tax, sales tax, property tax. Basically, every time you move your money, whether you spend it or receive it or earn it, essentially you're paying some form of tax. So the government is getting their vig every time a dollar moves in one direction or another. And then we're left with the bucket that really needs the most attention, that really gets neglected more than it should. And that's the retirement bucket. That's the nest egg. That's what are we building for tomorrow, for our future. And that comes down to our 401k, our retirement plans, our brokerage accounts, our accounts that we use to grow our wealth. It's the one that gets neglected the most. It's the one that we push off to the side and go, yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, we know. I know retirement's on the horizon. But the reality is, life happens so quickly that in a blink of an eye, you wake up and you're 30. In another blink of an eye, you're 40, then you're 50, then you're 60, then it becomes too late. I don't want it to be too late for anyone because the ability to fill that bucket exists today and every day as long as you simply make it a priority. This program is designed to increase your income and increase your wealth, in my humble opinion, so you're able to fill that bucket while also enjoying some improvements of quality of life today. That is the ultimate goal. If I could see each of my clients doing something with this program, it would be that. It would be building that bucket, that nest egg for retirement, and whatever's left over from that bucket, enjoying the fruits of that labor today because we never know what tomorrow ultimately holds. Now, if you think your financial advisor is doing you any favors, I want you to read this carefully. As time goes on, the number increasingly drops, and according to the data, only about 10% of actively managed funds have outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 15 years. So that means you hire a financial advisor, you give them a couple $100,000, you say, hey, listen, take my money, place it in managed funds so that it can grow and build me wealth. Well, what this says is that 90% of those funds underperform the S&P 500. Meanwhile, while your money's underperforming the S&P 500, you're paying that financial advisor a fee to essentially, quote unquote, manage your money. And the reality is that he's managing it to underperform the S&P 500. And that is a sad statistic because we, the people, you and I, the hardworking folks, really deserve better than that. And that's specifically why I built this program, so that you can achieve better than that. The idea is to outpace the S&P 500 by a multiple, and that is the ultimate goal of this 3-in-1 trading program. Now, just a quick recap on some hard numbers that we discussed in the past couple minutes. Let's take an average retirement age of 65, an average life expectancy of 85. To play it safe, we need to compensate for about 35 years of spendable income and cost of living increases. So ultimately, what we end up doing is taking 35 years, dividing it by the desired amount of annual consumption, the amount of money that you need to spend, and that is the safe and secure, non-risked, liquid cash that you will need at the time of retirement. So, for example, if you'd like to retire with an annual consumption of about $5,000 a month and $60,000 a year, you'd need about $2.1 million. If you say, hey, Ant, listen, that would barely feed me and cover my cost of living, I really need $120 a year, now you need about $4.2 million. If you say, you know what, I've worked hard my whole life and I want to continue with the lifestyle I currently live, you may need $20,000 a month. That would be $240,000 a year. That would now take you to needing about $8 million in liquid assets in order to sustain the life that you desire to sustain. And that is before you leave your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, or any of your charitable desires, anything behind. Now, in this industry, there's lots of gurus out there that'll tell you about their one big winner that they had in their entire career and how you should follow them because that's the way to make money. When the most realistic way to build your wealth, and anybody will tell you this is not anything more or less than common sense, is to simply compound your small gains. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is a hypothetical illustration. If we took $5,000 and we took one 100% winner, we would now have $10,000. If we took $5,000 and we compounded 10% wins, we would have a total of $12,082.57. There is nearly a 21% advantage over compounding small wins rather than looking for large single wins. So, most of you who have been trading or investing before would agree with me that it is certainly easier to find 10% wins over and over and over again than it is to find 100% plus wins over and over and over again. Now, we recognize that, like the illustration I showed you when we started, there will be small losses along the way, but controlling them is, in fact, the most important part. So you see that the odds have been strategically stacked up against you. Wall Street, what we call the smart money, makes up the lion's share of the market. And as you'd imagine, they operate on massive amounts of data and information and machine learning and all that stuff that's just not available to investors and traders like you and I. As you'd expect, they take advantage of it in all aspects. There is no stone left unturned. Now, this guy, Richard Thaler, father of behavioral economics, really stated it well when he said Wall Street needs investors who are rational, woefully uninformed, and willing to hold overpriced assets. Guess what? We, the retail trader and investor, are born as the woefully uninformed who get caught holding the losses. But we no longer have to be the victim when we can be the ones who reap the rewards. Most of you probably don't know that the Main Street financial news manipulates you into taking the other side of the financial industry's trades that they want to exit out of. What do I mean? We've seen examples of this with Bitcoin when billionaires like Tom Draper said that Bitcoin would hit $250,000. Around the same time, Wall Street institutions were dumping Bitcoin to the woefully uninformed retail investors while they were stocking up for gold on the anticipation of a change in what was coming. Well, you know the rest of the story. Obviously, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole took an absolute bath. Same thing happened with Tesla. If you remember the crazy tech buying stock frenzy, analysts and fund managers like Cathie Wood were claiming that Tesla's share price would quadruple to $3,000 a share. But while Wall Street and the financial news were pumping up Tesla, our boy Elon Musk, the owner and CEO, the single wealthiest individual that walks the face of the earth, was selling his shares of his own company to liquidate nearly $1 billion of liquid cash. So let me ask you a question. If you believed the stock of your company was going to quadruple, would you sell $1 billion worth of shares? Of course not. Nobody in their right mind would do that. But this is how the financial news media manipulates the retail trader. And obviously, Tesla took an absolute bath shortly following Elon selling over $1 billion of market share. So it leads us to the question, why do you need a mentor, a trading mentor? Why do you need some education? Why do you need these programs? Why do you need help? Well, it's pretty simple. And don't take this offensively, but the barrier of entry into this industry has strategically been made so low for a very specific reason. And that specific reason is because you, the retail trader, are easy prey. It's like feeding a herd of lions with a lamb chained to a tree. Most professions, I'm talking white collar professions, high six, seven figure, eight figure earning businesses, industries, not only require a decade plus of education, followed by continuing education and certification to become things like doctors and accountants and attorneys and specialists and things of that nature. To become a trader, it requires a smartphone. You have to download an app, transfer a few $100s of liquidity, answer a questionnaire. You get slapped on the ass, and you're basically in business. Now, don't you see that there's a big difference between becoming somebody who's uber successful, takes a whole lot of time to even enter that industry, and to become a trader, to play in the most wealthy game in the entire world? You can do that in less than 15 minutes. Would you hire a doctor who has never really became a doctor, an aspiring doctor, let's put it that way, who's watched a YouTube video on how to do surgery? Would you hire that guy to swap out one of your organs? Or better yet, if you were accused of murder, would you hire an aspiring attorney who watched Aaron Brockovich to represent you when your life is on the line? Or the IRS has knocked on your door and they want to audit you. Are you about to hire some low level bookkeeper that desires to be an accountant someday? Of course you're not. So it's no different when it comes to trading. Are you going to just go at this on your own and think you're going to be successful? You're not. You're going to learn the hard way. It's okay if you think you will. Or are you going to find somebody who's done it, who's invested over a decade, who has proven themselves profitable, has actually made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this, and are you going to work with that person? That is ultimately a decision that you have to make for yourself. Now, full transparency, the 1% way to wealth profit window system is built based on a complex formula developed by an MIT economist over 60 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Sidney Alexander. Obviously, I've taken his work and I have turned it into a method that works for me. I've modified it so that it applies equally to my day swing and position style trades, all designed to benefit each and every one of you. Now, back in 1961, Sidney had a theory that the reason why technical analysis traders were losing was because the volatile market movements were hiding an existence of the overall trend. So he believed the solution was to filter out all the movements smaller than a specified size and then examine the remaining movements of price. This was his way of skipping the noise by only getting into trades that had ultra high probability to follow through. Lo and behold, this complex mathematical formula was in fact developed. Now, I certainly don't send you things that complicated. I send you things that are very simple to read. I send you the ticker, what we're trading, the direction we're trading it. Are we above or below its 200-day moving average? Is the channel structure supporting it, ascending or descending? Has the price action confirmed, and at what percentage has it confirmed? Our ideal entry, our ideal stop, our ideal target, the option proxy, an image of the trade, the ability to click a link that will take you to a larger image, and of course, when they close the result. This particular trade had reaped us 11.74% on the actual stock itself and nearly 135% on the option proxy that we carefully selected for it. But what's even more interesting is fast forward 30 years during the 1990s, two economists, one named Levitch, one named Thomas, put Sidney's equation to the test just to see if it had any merit. And any trader who only entered into trades based on this filtered equation would have seen an 80% win rate. So after finding these discoveries, I started to apply this filtered equation into my own trading, and the results absolutely blew me away. Not only was I able to get into winning trades with unbelievable accuracy, but after I reviewed all of my trades, I noticed the filtered equation, more importantly, kept me out of a ton of fake outs or trades that would have equated to small losses. So eventually I entered the 21st century. I decided to mesh this filtered equation into an algorithmic system that would alert me instantly whenever one of these opportunities appeared. And lo and behold, the 1% way to wealth profit window system was in fact born. So back in 2017, when I began leveraging this equation that's now coded into these profit windows, I've been able to make a minimum of six figures in profits every single year without worrying whether the market was in a bullish trend or a bearish trend. All you have to do to make this work is follow the same three simple steps that my Speciale Analysis Services members and I follow. Price crosses into our 1% way to wealth profit window. My system triggers us a profit window alert. We enter, we wait, and we profit. It's very simple. I want to be clear with you that I did not come from a wealthy family. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. There was no country clubs. There was no Christmas parties. There was none of that lifestyle. My parents worked. My mom was a nurse practitioner on the oncology department, ironically, later in life passing away from cancer. My father was an auto mechanic. He started his business in my grandparents' garage in town, ultimately moved into a repair shop and built a gas station business. You can see a picture of my wife and I. That's me working on a couple different cars. So we fixed cars, we towed cars, we plowed snow, we repaired small engines, we did sold gasoline, we did vehicle maintenance, you name it. And the business is still alive and well today. But this was a path that I had entered on as I was lost out of high school. I've suffered weeks that I have worked 70, 80 plus hours, 2 or 3 straight days in a truck, plowing snow or towing cars all over the Northeast. It's been a rough, tough business. But I had made a decision at one point during my career that this was not all that I was going to do with my life. I wanted to do something else. And in recent years, I've stepped away from this business, acquired a business partner to operate the day to day. And, now I spend my days teaching folks how to trade, letting them watch me how I trade, sending them reports and things of that nature, developing this 3-in-1 product. Like I said, I've worked for other companies in this industry, and that's what I do now. I spend my life in the market rather than under the hood of a car. And I've turned around my life. Not that it was bad before, but it is certainly a much better quality of life that I live today. And it's something that I'm truly enjoying, and I'm enjoying sharing it with each and every one of you as well. So my why has always been the freedom that comes with trading. If I can sit at the computer and earn myself a living, I can go out ultimately and do what I want to do. And I've been able to do that. I've been able to provide myself and my beautiful wife a very rewarding life that most folks only have the opportunity to dream about. And my goal now today and moving forward is to simply help you realize exactly the same. Because the real secret to long-term success is just simply having a suite of strategies that puts the market odds in your favor, regardless of what's happening in the world. We know that we cannot control the exterior forces. So a suite of systems that allows you to get into trades at the most optimal entry time in both bull and bear markets is extremely necessary. And that's why I've designed this 3-in-1 system that I proudly call the Speciale Analysis Services. So just so you have a breakdown of what this is, it is a daily service. You have the opportunity to watch me day trade each and every day live, Monday through Friday. It is a weekly market report covering more than 50 ETFs. It's the analysis, interpretation, and trade plans that go with each of them. It is the monthly Wealth Builder Equity Report. These are the best stocks that I can find each month that will offer you the highest rate of return. We cover the entire stock market. We analyze, interpret everything for you. We include 2 trading view indicators I put together to help keep you on the right side of the market. And most importantly, it is proudly delivered to you by me personally. And here's how it works. This complete educational training program is compiled of 3 key components. Daily oil futures trading in a live trade room from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day that the market is open. Speciale Analysis Weekly, which is a weekly ETF market report analyzing and interpreting more than 50 ETF tickers covering the entire market. Our Wealth Builder Monthly, a monthly equity report specifically designed for optimal wealth creation. Now, I recognize that just one strategy does not work during all market conditions. So employing these 3 different strategies on 3 different time frames pretty safely covers most trading occasions. The Oil Futures Trader Daily program. You get to join me again Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. as I analyze and trade the oil futures market live in front of you. You get a portal access to my screen. I'll be monitoring and trading the oil futures market live with you each and every morning. You can watch alongside me as I show you how I navigate the market day trading. Each morning you'll receive a link to join me live where you'll see my screen, and I'll walk you through what I'm seeing as it transpires, as my plan of action occurs. Listen, if there's not a trade opportunity, you're going to understand why, because I'm going to share that with you. So you're going to get in my mind and watch my screen during the entire process. Speciale Analysis Weekly is a weekly market report that monitors the entire market, analyzing and interpreting more than 50 tickers week to week in order to bring you opportunities from all corners of today's market. The 50 plus tickers are listed within the report below this video. I believe they're most comprehensive compiled list of market assets you're going to find in a weekly market report serving all traders and investors alike. And these also include option trade opportunities for you option traders. And finally, the Wealth Builder Monthly. This is a monthly report that includes the best opportunities I'm able to find as I search every corner of the stock market for wealth creation investment opportunities. This report will include in-depth analysis of the equity choices that best fit a longer-term approach to investing. And let's face it, the best thing we can do for ourselves is to lay the foundation for our future and for our future generations to follow. This report will be selecting equities that will hold the greatest potential to offer the highest probability of you building wealth from them. So this goes without saying, but just to maintain 100% transparency, please keep in mind there's not a single strategy on God's green earth that can ensure that you will win 100% of the time. But what most folks do not realize is all they've needed all along throughout their entire trading career is a predictable, dependable, and accurate set of strategies in that perspective to help guide you through your trading journey. My entire goal today with my 3-in-1 program is to simply help you obtain exactly that. Now, through my career, there's 2 types of folks that I've met as I've ran products for other companies, and those are the dabblers and the 1%ers. The dabblers are looking for a magic indicator, somebody to do the work for them. They never take it seriously. They want to use everything as an excuse, or the one percenters who say, hey, listen, I'm willing to put all the shit aside, all the crap, all the excuses, and I'm going to make it work. Listen, I don't know which one of those you are, but I do know which one of the two that I can help. So here's a quick recap of just how the 3-in-1 program works. Service 1, every day you're going to get access to the Oil Futures Market Live portal. It's a link emailed to you. You get to join me and watch me through the process of me analyzing the market and trading it. Service piece number 2, the Speciale Analysis Weekly Report. It's a 50-plus ticker weekly report filled with analysis, interpretation, actionable ideas, including option proxies when and where applicable. And finally, service piece number 3, which is a monthly comprehensive investment report with the best equity trade ideas for each month, employing my 1% way to wealth analysis approach, along with all the fundamental interpretation included. It's a full package that helps each and every trader excel in every market condition, no matter what is happening around the world. Now, there's a massive problem that most people do not understand. The fact is, most people could never afford to be mentored by a trader that has nearly $1 million in profits under his belt. Now, anyone who's ever inquired on one-on-one six-figure training would understand that that price point exceeds $25,000 per year. Clearly, I'm not going to be charging you anywhere near $25,000 because unlike the folks I've worked for in the past, put people before profits. Most of this industry is very focused on how do we make money and how do we do this in volume, where I want to serve my client, help that person get to the finish line so that then I can help the next person. So what I'm going to do is make you an offer to access these 3-in-1 services on either a monthly or an unlimited basis. It's really up to you. I don't know what your level of commitment of this is. I know what mine is. So whatever makes sense to you, you'll ultimately decide for yourself. Now, I could spend tens of thousands of dollars on advertising every month, buying media, buying access to millions and millions of people. Or I could simply work with a small group of folks that I can have personal relationships with. I have chosen the latter of the two. The companies I've worked for in the past spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising every month to acquire hundreds of thousands of contacts. I'm not interested in that. I just want a small knit group of folks that I can work with on a first name basis, that we know each other, we understand each other, and we're in this for the long haul, ultimately together. I don't have any partners or investors to answer to. I'm simply here to over-deliver to my clients. I don't have a client retention team. I know some of you will stay and others will leave, and I'm certainly okay with that. My goal is to offer an environment where my clients become my friends and friends become like family. That's how I've always done business on Main Street, and I have no reason to do it any differently right here in this setting as well. So if this is something you're serious about, if you see yourself becoming a student of the study, if you see yourself putting all your excuses aside and growing as a trader and investor, then I'm willing to be just as committed to you as you are to your own excellence. There's no time like the present to get started working together for a greater tomorrow. There's no high-pressure sale pitches here. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to chase you. You have two choices, and they're really simple. You subscribe on a monthly basis and have the opportunity to cancel at any time, or you can invest in my unlimited access offer. But note that either choice that you make, we do not offer refunds because the information that we do deliver is very timely, very usable, very actionable, and we don't believe that anybody should have access to that for free. So there are 2 links below on this page for your consideration if you are ready to get started. Link number 1 will say subscribe. This is the monthly model that reoccurs at $299 a month until you cancel it. It'll keep going forever as long as you're involved in the program. Link number 2 says buy now. This is the unlimited offer for only $29.99. This is the offer that you will choose if you say, hey, listen, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to making this work. I have access to 3 different ways to take advantage of the market. I'm decided that I'm going to work with Anthony. I don't want to pay maintenance fees. I don't want to pay referral fees. I don't want to pay annual fees. I don't want to pay recurring monthly fees. I just want to be a student of the study, and I want to be alongside Anthony until the end of time. Well, then that choice is for you, and you can clearly do that. You can see that literally within a year's time, you would have spent more money on a monthly model than on the unlimited access. But either way, the choice is absolutely yours. You can subscribe for a month, try it out, then decide to upgrade to an unlimited access model, or whatever your pleasure is. It is certainly fine with me. If you're operating as a business, this is completely deductible for you. So make sure you tell your accountant, say, hey, listen, this is a subscription model that I need to deduct because this is something I am using to earn a living with. So be sure to make sure that you speak to your tax professional about that, as well about how you can potentially write this off. So from my family to yours, thank you for joining in this presentation today. My wife and I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. You'll be working directly with her and I if you decide to endeavor into utilizing the 3-in-1 program. If you don't, I certainly wish you the best. I thank you for being here. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you and to have taken this time to share this with you. Whatever you choose to do with your life, I just hope that you choose to do something meaningful with it. There are ways to earn a living out there, and there is a better quality of life available for you if you so choose to reach out and grab it. So with that, I wish you many blessings. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will talk soon. Thank you again.